Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Hi. Oh my gosh. It's finally happening. We're finally here. I'm finally here. This is the first episode in, I think, a year now. But I just didn't want to give you underlying content. Niwapea content inabu. Alafu msikie, oh, Wangari is so boring. And there's no need for that.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too.
So hi, how are you? Happy New Year, happy birthday, happy mid-year. We are almost about to get to Mother's Day in the next month. I hope you're happy. I hope you're good. I've missed you so much. We're here. It's been a long time coming. We're here. My name is Diversified Wangari, and this is the Peace of Mind KE podcast. So today, in the first episode, we're going to look at letting go of the fear of rejection. Nime introduce the topic, nikaanza kusikia joto. But I'm so happy. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the podcast. I hope you're going to enjoy. This is going to be the first episode with an actual video on YouTube. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm excited for the journey that is in store for us. Goja, I had brought some soda for myself to drink as we have this conversation isinyongwe. Stay hydrated. So, the reason why I was so inclined on starting a podcast is because so many of us go through silent battles and hatunanga msi wa communicate naye, especially our younger kids who are in their early teens, you know, they're just getting to join high school. They don't have people to have these conversations with because most probably their parents are working, and sometimes it's a bit hard to balance both school, work, kids, you know, life at home, ensuring that everyone has whatever it is that they need. And that's why you hear that raising a child in a hitaji clan. It needs a whole clan because you can't do it by yourself. There's only so much you can control and only so much you know. So yeah, back to the topic of today. The fear of rejection. I'm actually the first person is alika and put myself first and just be the first one. I was so fearful of the fear of rejection. But guy, it's like, you know, having someone, you meet someone, you enjoy their energy, you're there with them in your life, you know, you involve them in your everyday activities, alafu one day too, they're just like, no. Ama you just think that, like, you grow up knowing you're this person, you know, you love yourself, and like you're just an amazing person. Alafu unapata tu siku moja one person out of the blues is like, you know what? I don't like you. I don't like your character. I don't like anything about you. I just don't like you. Like, what the hell is that? Like, what does that even mean? Like, what do you mean you don't like me? Do you know how amazing I am? Unajua vile nabamba? You don't like me? Are you serious? Mimi, I was very fearful of the fear of rejection from the youngest age. And I think it's because, guys, because this is just the first episode, I think we should just, like, take it slow. Because I'm just getting to know you. So I might as well just take it pole pole. But I think the whole point of the fear of rejection really come about nikianza kwa bullied. Do you know, I was in class 1 and I was being bullied. Imagine there's this chick every day I go to school, I go to like letter break yako. Na sio ujue, ilikuwa hizo siku za kitambo times ama Facebook and everything. So snack nilikuwa nabeba shule ilikuwa like mkate na blue band, you know. Nimepakwa vizuri, imekatwa like with a diagonal cut. Every day this chick would terrorize me. I go like, give me your lunch, give me your break. And I say, it's not even break time. It's literally like the second period or the third period. Before now you get to your tea break and everything. I go like, give me your break. And they go like, pass it. Yeah, pass it. Yeah, pass it along the road. Like, she used to scare me. She was so big. Na mi niko tu like, I'm just a girl, So mi sikuwa na understand mwana bully mwenye alikuwa anashinda ki make life yangu difficult, alikuwa anani bully. Like, so stay focused on your life. Why you hating? So anyway, so I think since your time yote kwa bullied, ilinipea some sense of insecurity, ama ilinishtua in a sense. I'm like, people can be this mean. Like, niko tu class 1 na already unataka break ya mkate. It's not even ati crisps, ama ati cake, ama ati Oreos or chocolate. It's just bread and Blue Band. Hata haina jam. Surely. Shame on you wherever you are. You hurt my feelings, but you know what? God forgives and I forgive you, but I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Anyway, yeah, she bullied me for like 1 year. I was brought up by my grandma, so you can imagine I was just a people's person. You just want to hang out with everyone. You want everyone to be your friend. But the universe, the world does not work like that. People are so different. People are dealing with their own battles and they're thinking about their own situations. So you might as well just step back, guard your heart, and just stay focused. That's what I learned. Anyway, so I think that whole point of kukua bullied ilinipea the fear of rejection, because it's like, I'm a cool person, why don't you like me? Sino baya, I just want us to hang out, I want us to play, I want us to do sijui. So the fear of rejection inafanyanga tusikie excluded. It makes us feel excluded. It makes us feel like we don't matter, like we're wasting time. We're a waste of space and energy and everything. But in real sense, come on, you exist, una matter. So let no one tell you that you're worthless and you're everything. As long as you're alive, you're breathing, you're in this big rock flying through space and time, you matter. And it's so crazy what rejection does to our brain, because we find rejection, like we always get to see rejection as a negative thing. We never see it as a redirection. I'm going to speak from the language of spirituality, Christianity, because in a sense, when I realized how much God loved me and how much he cared about me and what he did to for me to be able to be alive and fight this battle of life, of good and bad and death and everything that's going around, I realized I'm actually very important. I'm important to the point that God even thought about me before he even created this planet. How beautiful is that? He thought about the number of hairs on my head before I was even born. Like, tell me someone mwenye akona thoughts kama hizo. Other than your parents, of course. And even some parents are not even like that close. I want that maternal, paternal connection to their kids. So inakwanga too awkward, and some kids sometimes end up growing up and not even getting to experience paternal love. So when you do, be grateful, thank God, because you're very lucky and you're truly blessed. And even if you haven't, just know there's someone out there who's the creator. He loves you and he's calling you and he's like wondering about you. He's like, why are you not talking to him? Redirection and rejection is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a redirection to a good thing. Junior Zapata, you've always wanted this specific kind of job or school or position or kind of friendship or relationship, but when you strive so hard, you work so hard, you do everything, literally just give in everything is required for you to obtain this relationship, this sense of reward, relationship, love, career, whatever it is, like role at work, your business, it could be anything, health goal, weight goal, it literally could be anything, and then it doesn't work out as you had expected. It'd be nice to just show yourself some grace and also learn that sometimes, not even sometimes, but all of us were in someone else's story, we're in God's story. So first of all, you need to understand that for you to know yourself, you need to know him. But so many people are going to have, this is a subjective thought, to be honest, because some people don't believe in this, and others do, and others are in other, have other point of views, which is definitely okay. This is a safe space for everyone. Like, as long as you find whatever works for you, that's all that matters. But my point is that rejection is not always a bad thing. So you might lose that job, you might lose whatever, you might lose it, and it might be so painful. It might have been something that you wanted for the longest time. You're like, why you do this to me? Like, why? Like, you've worked so hard for it, you've strived for it, you've dieted for it, you've basically done everything for you to be able to attain this goal, but it's somehow, in a sense, slipping through your hands. Sometimes nani tu kukubali, because not everything that we want works out the way we do. Not everything that we need always falls into place. Sometimes you just need to be adaptive and understand that God is seeing the bigger picture, or the Creator sees the bigger picture, and He knows more than you do with our little brain. So just relax and don't go hard on yourself. As for me, what made it possible for me to be able to get rid of the fear of rejection and the fear of not being wanted and being liked and like being in the same group and all that, I think as we get to know each other, my relationship with God has really changed my life. It has really made an impact, and it has really redefined what I think about myself, what I think about people, animals, and things and places, and most of all, what I think about Him. It's not about whether He's real or not, if it's the true religion or not, if He's making me happy or not, but it's just understanding the nature of life itself. And when you have these kinds of questions, I think you'll start searching for the answers, and everyone comes to their own conclusions, but I really do pray that you're able to find the truth, to find your path to the right, to the truth, to the real truth. It's so crazy when I say real truth, because what do you mean real truth? But kuna so many conspiracies, so you also might as well just be careful on the sources of your information, where you're getting your information from. And if it's about Christianity, you can read the Bible and you can have the questions. Have someone who is a Christian and can guide you through and explain to you these concepts that maybe you might not be able to understand by reading the Bible on your own. Some specific verses that I usually say, or I usually keep in mind whenever having this fear of rejection, or these thoughts of fear of rejection, especially the verses. So I just let them play over and over in our heads, because at the end of the day, I came to realize that our thoughts do matter. Whatever you think about, it does matter, and most probably your brain is going to look for all the proof to determine to make your belief come true. If you believe that you're a confident person, and that you're a lover of life, and that you care about, people, places, and things, then brain is going to look for evidences that you truly love these people, like you truly love the planet, you truly love your environment, like you're such an open, giving person personally. But when you have this belief that the world is a cold place, it's bitter, people are brutal, and it's full of evil and everything, your mind is going to be biased, and it's going to find those characteristics that are trying to prove to you how bad the world is, how negative the world is, how evil the world is. Because as much as the world is a bit of both, it's a bit of both, good or bad. You can choose to decide that you want to feel you more. That means what you watch, what you listen to, the places you go, the people you're with, do they fill you up? Do they take away from you? Like, all these things do matter in a sense. These are just some ways that I personally use to get over the fear of rejection. My relationship with the Lord really, really saved me, and it gave me hope and the faith that no matter how difficult or how intense or how annoying or how impossible things may feel or seem, that's not how they are. It's just your eyes, how you're perceiving them, but it's not actually the reality. So just have the faith to dig deeper and search, and have the persistence and the perseverance to look for the answers. So in short, usikue mtu wa kugive up haraka haraka. Otherwise, utaumia. Another thing that I usually do is I also pray without ceasing. So that means you pray continuously, and it doesn't have to be like oh God, blah 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 blah, like out loud. You can always play when you're at a play. You can always pray when you're in the matatu. You can always pray when you're walking. You can always pray when you're working out. You can always pray when you're cooking. You can always pray when you're even having a conversation with someone else. It's something that it's done in the spirit. Yes, you can do it physically, and can also do it internally, and you can keep on praying without ceasing. It's another secret that I use to get over these thoughts of fear of rejection, or even when I get to experience people who are like, once I don't like you and I don't like your personality, you're not for me. So being like, oh, I'm not for you. Why would you say that? Like, you don't know what you're missing out on. Do you know how important I am? And do you know who I am, or whatever? I'm just like, okay, cool. You don't like me. I understand, but I respect your decision. You don't have to like me. It's okay. They like the next person, and that's fine. And I'll find someone who's gonna be like, oh my God, I love your personality. I love everything about you. Let's be friends. And if you are busy there hanging on to that person who's like, you're trying to convince how amazing you are and how good you can give or how present you can be, you're just wasting your time, and you're holding back the line. You're holding back the line for the rest who want to be your friends, who want to make a difference in your life, who want to even elevate you to the next level. So stop holding back the line. The fourth thing for you to be able to get over the fear of rejection is to be intentional with yourself. Be intentional with your time. Be intentional with your energy. Be intentional with the people that you spend time with. This, I can never emphasize this enough. And it's like, unless you get to experience it, like, you'd never really know the heftiness, the seriousness of being intentional, like, with your energy, with basically your whole being. Considering like we're on this planet for only just a blip and we're gone, you might as well just be thoughtful who you're spending your time with, where you're going. Are you building yourself? Like, these are really deep questions that keep me awake at night, and always have me at the end of the day trying to figure out, like, how did my day go? Did I achieve what I was supposed to achieve? Did I meet the people I was supposed to meet? And if not, what can I do to be better? Because instead of trying to point fingers and be like, it's all someone else's fault, they should have done this, they should have been here, they should have said this, they should have taken me there, all these things. Instead of wanting the outside or your environment to change, why don't you change? You be your change itself and be like, you know what? They didn't take me. And because they didn't take me, fine. So what can I do to take myself? Because you're still, at the end of the day, you'll always end up hanging out with yourself longer than anyone else. You'll have to be your friend. You'll have to want to spend time, alone with yourself and read books and be by yourself and still be happy being by yourself. And that's how I understand why introverts sometimes are just, after they spend time with people, wanakuanga drained, wako tu like, acha tu niende home, tutapatana next weekend or something. Unamsikia 2 weeks later, but akikuja kona all the energy. And this is because, well, they were away, they were able to recharge and, spend time with themselves and just feed themselves. Hawakukuwa hapo wanangoja other people kuja kuwa feed. Last but not least, as I had stated, God's love has really changed. My mindset has changed. My perception on life has changed. Literally my everything. And the way God views me has changed how I view myself and how I love myself. And because He loves me, I need to love myself the way He loves me. If I don't, I'm not respecting Him in a sense. And it's like I'm not reflecting His love, because His love is not just meant to be for everyone else, but for yourself as well. So there's no way you can be able to pour into others when you're running empty or when you're running low. So God's love is equal to self-love. That's equals to selfless love, because now you're overflowing with love. You love yourself. You love yourself so much. You love yourself that you want to share your love with others, your loved ones, your cousins, your friends. And that's why you're like, hey, tunaenda road trip ama tunaenda wapi. You just have this fun activities that with the people that you really treasure and you care about in your life. And even if you don't can get to have like foundations, organizations that are there to help in the community and the society and things like this podcast is for me and you. It's to help us like go through this thing called life, because bro, it can be super overwhelming and exhausting, and that's not fun. And if we're doing this together, just me and you, I think we're gonna be sawa. Gonna be good. And on that short notice, when we get over the fear of rejection, we end up letting go on performing love, trying to perform for love, trying to show for love. Like, it's like performative love just comes to an end. You're able to be yourself, be content with yourself, be content with your environment, be content with your situation, and work towards, if you're not happy with it, you work towards trying and change it, instead of being angry and bitter and hating everyone and everything, and just like being a pain to everyone else. Because trust you me, you're not the only one who's going something. And because we have all else established that, I think if you want, we can look at how to stop performing for love. We can talk about that in another episode, of course. This was just a short video intro. I've missed you so much. My name is Diversified Wangari, and this is the Peace of Mind KE podcast. If you have any new comment or anything that you wanted to add, or ways that you use to cope with the fear of rejection, and things that you'd like to share with your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, please don't be afraid. This comment section is kind of dry. It would be nice if you filled it up. Let's talk about it. And also check out the Peace of Mind KE podcast page on Instagram as well as on Facebook. So I hope you had a good week. Friday is here. There's a new episode every Friday. By the way, I almost forgot to say that. There's a new episode every Friday. Hope you enjoy and subscribe. And until we meet the next time, bye.